People don't realize how easy it is to be in these rooms.
For sure.
This podcast is showing people that you can be in those rooms.
Right.
I'm just like you.
There's way more to being successful than just knowing numbers or you know knowing how to pitch. It's the people skills. It's the business side. It's the creative thinking. It's know how to pivot.
I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. People will sit on these podcasts and say they have 9 different reasons that they're in real estate.
Right.
All of us are in it for the money.
I mean, it's good. Pays
all of
bills.
us are in it. All of us are in it for the money, but also what are you trying to do with the money that you're getting, and what are you doing on the way to the money? Like if I walk out of this room, what impression did I leave on you? I would say big ups to a lot of people. My grandfather, he wanted me to be. He wanted everyone that he knows that made it out of something to be into real estate. I don't think we all realize what he was saying until now.
Until the moment,
And now I'm in real estate and I see what he was talking about.
Right.
You know, locating greatness and being a home locator has consumed my life in such a positive way that we're going to grow so big to where we can help so many people understand that there's more to your situation than what you are looking at.
All right, welcome back to Locating Greatness, the podcast where we uncover the stories behind the success, unfiltered and full of game. But today, we're going to do a little something different today, all right?
Okay.
Normally, we hear from entrepreneurs, real estate pros, creatives, and change makers. But this time, we're flipping the script. I'm your co-host, and today I'm asking the questions. But first, we're going to talk to the man behind the movement, the voice of the show.
Yes, sir.
The guy who's been helping everyone chase greatness in their own lives.
Okay.
I'm talking about the one.
Yeah.
The only.
Yeah.
No other than Jadrian Lawson.
Yeah.
The home locator himself.
I'm here, baby.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right. So buckle in because it's not just the interview. This is the blueprint.
Okay.
All right, man. You ready for it, man?
Man, I'm ready, bro.
All right. So, I mean, let's start off at the beginning, bro. Let's start off at childhood.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where you from? You know, what do you remember about your earlier years?
So first and foremost, I'm from McKinney. Okay. Born and raised. Moved around a little bit after college, but made my way back so I can chase my dream. But yeah, man, I'm from McKinney. Had a crazy childhood, man. I had a lot of people that I grew up with that, you know, ultimately became entrepreneurs themselves. So I've always been the type to, you know, kind of absorb everything everyone else is doing, whether it's good, bad, all of that good stuff. So I think, you know, when I was younger, I was raised by a single mother. Shout out to my mom.
Respect. Yep.
She did everything she could to make sure I was on the right path. There's a lot of people that I know that's been around the way that, you know, didn't be able to chase their dream because of maybe a mistake.
I get that.
And they still, you know, shout out to all of them, but they still have the knowledge to do so, and they're still making their way. Yeah. And which is why I made this platform too, because it's going to be a lot of people that will come onto this platform to, you know, share their dreams and, you know, maybe made a mistake, but also made it to the motherland. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, from McKinney, very adventurous. It was something to see, man. I wish I could have a camera like this from back in the day.
No, for real, man. The throwback cameras.
It was crazy.
Sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. But
yeah.
Shout out to all the mothers out there.
Yes, sir.
So outside of your mother, you know, who else would you say is an influential person in your life?
I would say my big cousin, Raymond.
Respect.
He showed me that there's more to life than just, you know, getting a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And it's more than just him, but he was the one that showed me you can go to college.
Right.
He made it to the NFL.
Good shit. Yeah.
He showed me, you know, kind of a different side of success.
For sure. Yeah. You need the options and the variety.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. So with him, I think a lot of the things that was taught to me as a young kid, you can make mistakes, but you can also still chase your dream.
Oh, easily.
And,
bounce back from it and keep going.
Yeah, so the dynamic is me, my mother, and my big cousin.
Okay, yeah.
So it's us three, and we have such a beautiful dynamic because we, you know, whatever we're going through, we're able to have like a conversation about it. You know what I'm saying? So
open dialogue.
Yeah. So once we're able to, you know, kind of talk about the things that we've been through, everything changes throughout the day. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it.
So yeah, that's who I look up to the most. It's a lot of people still, like my uncles, my father. Everyone. When I say everyone in my life has had some sort of collaborative effort to make me great. I salute all of them.
Not for sure. It takes a community to. It takes a village to raise a person.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely. And I give all the thanks to my cousin Raymond and my mother, because they're the ones that's on me every single day. Even when I feel like I'm at my highest, they know, like, okay, you got here for a reason. You can still continue to climb up. You know, upward. So
keep shooting for the stars. Man.
I would say them two, but also everyone else in my life, man.
For sure.
Yeah. Shout out to our sponsor, Poppy's Wings. If you're craving that bold, crispy, flavor-packed wings that actually delivers, Poppy's is where it's at. Made with love, seasoned just right. Every bite feels like home.
And because you're rocking with Locating Greatness Podcast, you get 15% off your first order when you mention Locating Greatness.
Yes, sir.
So, man, support local, eat good, and you got to fly with Poppy's Wings.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, so it sounds like you came from a real supportive, like, family and upbringing. So, like, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
All right, so fast forward out of, I'm not going to say adolescence, but, like, to where you kind of, you know, think you know what you're doing, you know, teenage, young adults, you know. What was one of your first hustles or, you know, sign of entrepreneurship?
I remember when I was young, man, one of my cousins that I was really close with, his name is Broderick. He had, like, we're like 11, 12. And he had, like, this lawnmower service.
Solid,
I wouldn't say that it was my hustle. But he was like, bro, we can make some money. Like,
it's easy money.
He was one of them that was like, yeah, you can do it. You can make this work. I said, okay, you know.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so, like, he showed me, like, yeah, you can make some money. But me, I was kind of dialed in on trying to make football and stuff work, which I wasn't the greatest. But, you know, I was trying to, you
Everyone has dreams.
I was on that as a young boy. But I think one of my first hustles, I would say, I'm gonna say this. So back in the day, when I was playing football, they would give us these fundraiser cards. No, the fundraiser cards where it had a bunch of coupons on it.
Oh yeah.
So my first hustle, we was raising $20 a little card, but I'm selling them for 30
off the head.
So I'm getting the 10 up top.
Right.
I don't recommend doing that, but yeah, that was like one of my first.
I believe it.
Like it was like one of my first. Like, yeah, you can make some bread off of doing something.
Yeah, you got to upcharge. So
yeah, that I would say that was my first one.
Hey, I respect it because these schools had us like straight hustling in the streets, man.
Bro,
I felt
door to door.
And if I'm the middleman, I'm gonna take my cut, bro.
Exactly.
I'm gonna take my cut.
I'm not about to do this for free.
Nah,
no, free labor.
Hell no, man.
Ain't happening.
Respect, bro. Okay. So you always had that hustle and that drive in you, bro.
Yeah.
I respect it. All right. So was there a defining moment in like your earlier years that pushed you to the path that you're on now?
Yes. When I was probably 15. When I was 15, my cousin had he had just seen the light of being in the NFL.
Nice.
So he actually had the opportunity to play for his favorite team, which was the Cowboys.
Hometown.
Yeah, so he was able to. He met a guy, him and my homeboy Dash. What they did when they got to that point, it was kind of instrumental. But but when he made it, he met a guy named DJ.
Okay.
DJ is somebody that can make something out of nothing.
Okay, yeah. Like a go-getter, or
it is the strangest thing. Like, I've never seen this guy not be successful in anything that he think of.
Midas touch.
Not just going to go do it, but everything that he thinks of, he can make it happen.
That's
so, like, being a people person, I learned that from him. Because if you have the connections, if you able to spread that good energy, then you can always, like, people gonna gravitate to you.
For sure.
And he's like one of them, like, man, you know, he's like, the whole room comes to him.
Yeah.
It's not like he going to people and talking to them. They come to him.
That's good.
Because of the energy. So what I saw when I was 15 and 16, I wanted to be I wanted to be in sports management.
Right.
And I wanted to be in sports management all the way up till I graduated college.
Right.
But it didn't work out that way. So, but we'll talk about that later. But
For sure.
But yeah, so what he did was he was able to have these conversations with people and convert all of them to believing in what he's doing. And it's not like
a motivator.
Yes, but it's not like he has them believing into something that's not there.
Right.
They're bought in because they trust him.
For sure.
So that was one of those situations to where I really realized that if I just get the relationships and build something behind those relationships, then I can, kind of prosper and be something greater.
Definitely.
So I give all the credit to him, man. All the credit on being a true hustler, being a people person, and making the best opportunities out of anything.
Yeah.
Goes to my boy DJ Shields. Shout out to my boy. But
for
yeah,
sure.
so DJ, he made it. He made it out of nowhere. He's from Pottsboro, Texas.
Crazy.
You know what it is?
Hell no.
Exactly.
Where? What?
So, yeah, like he made it to where he knows he shook hands with Jerry Jones. He's had a lot of Cowboys on his team.
Yeah.
He has a lot of he knows a lot of people.
Yeah, because there's way more to being successful than just knowing numbers or knowing how to pitch. It's the people skills. It's the business side. It's the creative thinking. It's know how to pivot.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something in to have all that wrapped in one.
Right.
And to be able to shine that light on a younger person and be like, hey, you can do this too.
Yeah.
Hey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what's up.
So yeah, big shout out to DJ, man. He showed me that there's a different way to being successful other than not necessarily dribbling a basketball or anything like that, but there's a different way of cranking it up.
Right.
When you don't necessarily have those capabilities.
Yeah.
So I big ups to him.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
Also I would say big ups to a lot of people. My grandfather, he wanted everyone that he knows that made it out of something to be into real estate.
Okay.
I don't think we all realize what he was saying until now.
Until the moment, yeah.
And now I'm in real estate and I see what he was talking about.
Right.
The amount of what you can do when you're in real estate is astronomical, which is why I'm a realtor now. And if you're looking for a house, call me. But anyway,
little plug.
Yeah, But yeah, man. Those guys are big instrumental to me coming out of adolescence and being a teenager. So yeah, I would say that.
There's 1,000 ways to the dollar, and you know it's not just one way.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's goal or path isn't meant for everyone.
Right.
So I respect that because I definitely know growing up, they think, or we're kind of told growing up, there's only two ways to make it. It's rapping or the league.
And
it's just like, what about in between? What about outside of the box?
Right.
So just staying on your feet and finding what's best for you.
Yeah.
And never taking no and just keep going.
That's another reason why I started this podcast too. People don't realize how easy it is. It's not easy, but how easy it is to be in these rooms.
For sure.
This podcast is showing people that you can be in those rooms.
Right.
I'm just like you. We grew up together.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in these rooms with people that are successful and that's able to really grow in ways that coming from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, so when people think of McKinney, they think of one of the best places to live, but it hasn't always been that way. And I'm not saying violence or anything like that, but the opportunity wasn't. The opportunity wasn't just in our faces like it is now.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, and I also want to. This platform is to have people look at. Oh yeah, like Jay doing it. Like come on, bro. Why can't I?
Exactly.
So yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Not bad. All right. So let me ask you, as positive as this is, I still want to know the full scope of it all.
Okay.
So what's a failure that you faced that's taught you the most?
Failure. Okay, I wouldn't say this is so there's nothing that I do in life that I would consider a failure. It's only lessons. So I'll start with that. Sure. But my the biggest one that I would say was whenever I moved to Houston.
Okay. What was the reason for that?
I moved to Houston to sell solar panels.
Okay, good hustle.
It was a good idea, but it wasn't something that I was passionate about.
Okay. Like people, the green energy, or
it was that, but it was a situation to where I bought into the money aspect versus everything else that goes into it. I wasn't a true believer of, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to be happy doing this.
I get that.
I don't want to be me personally, and this is not a knock to anyone, but I'm not the type to go door to door unless I have a listing in the neighborhood.
Right.
But I'm not the type to go door to door and be able to convince anyone to buy this product.
Exactly.
I would rather do it in a different element. I'm able to convince people to maybe buy something or anything like that, but I don't want to be the one that convinces them while I'm drenched in sweat, or I'm not in a good mood and I'm outside knocking on strangers' doors.
And Houston is humid.
So, it was gross.
That's gross. Tough. That's tough.
But like I said, like, it's not a knock to anyone that's doing that, and to everybody that was in on that.
Right.
I respect them. I appreciate them because they did something and they showed me something that I didn't want to do, but I respect them for doing it, because I don't think any of us wanted to do that.
Exactly.
But it worked out for a few of us.
Yeah.
So big shout out to them.
It's one of those, like, you never know until you try.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I was like, might as well make the best out of it, and we did. We had some good memories. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't my path, so I had to hit 45 and get back up here.
Get back to Dallas, man. Not bad. Okay. So when would you say you started to take yourself serious and begin to chase your goals intentionally then?
I would say after college, after the solar situation, I came back and I had a discussion with one of my close friends, Dash.
Nice, yeah.
He had a clothing line named the Lyak.
Okay, yeah.
That's where that birth of that came from.
Fair enough.
And he was like, bro, and I told him I was like, I want to do this with you.
Right.
He was very receptive to it. He was like, yeah, come on, let's do it. So we had motion for a while.
Yeah, yes,
we had some motion for a while now, but yeah, so I think that had a big turning point in my life too. But also I would say the fact that everything is not forever.
For sure.
No, understanding that too.
Yeah.
Because my cousin, when he played in the NFL, that didn't last forever.
Right.
My best friend Rock, he was going to go to the league, but that didn't last forever. True. Seeing both of them pivot to being able to make substantial changes in their life, to where they are successful in their respective fields.
Right.
That was instrumental, and it was it was groundbreaking for me, because I thought once I came back from solar, I didn't know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I respect them. And I look up to them, even though they're my peers. But I look up to them because it's everybody's laying a foundation to me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're a visual learner. That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for checking out Locating Greatness today. I just wanted to stop by and tell you guys that if you are in the McKinney area, Collin County, or the DFW, that was pretty crazy. But if you're in the DFW, if you need a house of any sort, buy, sell, or rent a house, you can always call me. It's at 469-307-3954. Please reach out to me. All right, see you guys after the episode, and we out.
Okay, so I know earlier you said your grandfather explained a lot, or kind of laid some seeds down for real estate.
Right.
But like, how did you get into real estate? And would you also say your grandfather's what kind of drew you in, or was there something outside of that?
No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he's the reason why it came to me to be as a realtor. In real estate, yes,
Right.
but as a realtor, no. I knew I had the personality to make something happen.
For sure, yeah.
I didn't know what it was though.
Okay. Because you tried the solar.
Yeah.
Did you try anything in between solar and real estate?
Nah, I got 9 to 5s after that, bro. I was like,
but like sales positions or?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
You calling people, hey, you want
I was
some
working in a call center. Yes,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
It was a staffing firm.
Right.
And it was with I ain't gonna say that name.
You don't got to.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say the name, but I was helping CNAs, CMAs, and LVNs,
Right.
nurses,
get
jobs at either a nursing home or a at a hospital.
Right.
I was doing that, so I was like, yeah, and they were like, you sound pretty nice, like you should do something with that.
Yeah. Don't be hiding behind the phone.
Yeah. So and it was just one lady that said that. All I needed was
that's
one.
all you need sometimes.
So all I needed was one. Yeah. So I talked to her about it, and she was like, keep chasing your dream. I don't know if this is your dream, but you should keep chasing your dream.
Right.
Big shout out to that lady.
Definitely.
I don't even know them lady name, but I appreciate her.
Sometimes
you don't know who you impacting, bro.
You never know.
You have no idea. But yeah,
I think God sends messages through other people.
Yeah.
So that was your angel speaking to you.
Absolutely. So yeah. Other than that, what was the question again? oh, being in real estate.
Yeah.
So after that, I came back and I was just on Indeed one day, and I stumbled across this brokerage named Biggs Realty, which I'm with right now.
Yeah.
I stumbled upon them, and I talked to one of the owners. His name was Bo, and Bo told me, he was like, we have this thing called apartment locating.
Right.
And I came in, started doing the locating thing, and didn't really like it.
Right.
But I loved it at the same time because I wasn't making the money.
Okay.
But I liked what I was doing. Like I'm able to walk.
Get a
people.
little motion.
Yeah. And I was like, he was like, you should definitely get your real estate license.
Yeah.
Like
scale it.
Yeah. Like really do this. And he's the one that put the battery in my back 100%. And I'll go look at. This is when Selling Sunset came out too. I was like, oh yeah, I might do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
he was watching the show.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so yeah, Selling Sunset was really dope to me.
We need a Selling Long State or Longhorn.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm not a Texan, all right.
Yeah.
What is this called? Longhorn State.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Selling Longhorn.
Lone Star State.
Flow.
It don't. I don't think we need to do that. We don't need to do that. But,
we'll figure it out.
But yeah, so I definitely, but yeah, he's one of the people that's like, yeah, you need to do this, and I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's been really successful, and it's gonna continue to be successful for sure. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, he's the reason why I'm really just all the way into it now.
Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what is the Home Locator? What does that mean beyond the title?
One day I was doing nothing. I was in one of these offices, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, what do you want to go by? Do you have a brand that you want to back it?
Brand, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I just started thinking of stuff. At first it was locating greatness.
Okay.
But I didn't tell nobody. I didn't really say it, like I didn't market it or anything like that. Right. It was like locating greatness. I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's something kind of different.
Okay, yeah. Put it on the back burner.
Yeah, so
I get that.
The Lord, God, He planted a lot of seeds in me that day.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about being in no podcast.
Right.
That was not I didn't want to do this.
Right, fair enough. It just came.
But at the same time, Locating Greatness was born that day, 4 years ago, not even knowing. But I was just coming up with stuff, locating greatness, locating assets, locating something, which both of those are going to be a segment, by the way. So locating, and I was like, you know what? Something locating, but I don't think that's right. And then I seen something, this YouTube, I think they stopped uploading stuff for like 4 or 5 years on YouTube, and it was like the home locators JC or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, okay.
Starting to cook.
Hold on.
Yeah,
now we cooking. Let me see.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm taking that.
Oh yeah,
the Home Locator. That's just what it is.
That's mine now.
That's when that was born.
Yeah, come get it off me.
Yeah. So yeah, if you needing anything real estate wise, definitely follow me on Instagram at the Home Locator. I'm branded.
Oh yeah.
I'm branded.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always got it on me. But yeah, the Home Locator.
Man.
You can always look me up, man.
Okay, good. All right. So you said you were. How long you been in the game for?
I got my license a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. All right. Good
Yeah.
stuff. So what would you say is your proudest moment so far?
In real estate?
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a few stories, but I had this one lady that really needed the help, and she said everyone that she was working with was just kind of blowing her off due to her circumstances.
Fair enough.
I was able to work with her, work with my bosses, work with people that's around her, and we made it happen in like a week. And she was about to have to leave the place she was at. She's gonna have to leave that in like a week, like that week to that day. She was gonna have to leave.
Right.
So I was able to do that for her, and that touched me a lot because I was like, I really love doing this. So me being able to help people, that's my
genuine.
jam.
Yeah,
that's my
you're
jam.
giving back.
Yeah.
And you're doing something that you're enjoying.
Yep.
And you're making money off of
Absolutely.
it. I mean, hey, seems
Bro,
like you in the right place, bro.
I'm gonna keep it honest, bro. People will sit on these podcasts and say there's like 9 different reasons that they're in real estate.
Right.
All of us are in it for the money.
I mean, it's good. Pays
All of
bills.
us are in it. All of us are in it for the money, but also, what are you trying to do with the money that you're getting?
Yeah.
And what are you doing on the way to the money?
Yeah.
It's all about like, if I walk out of this room, what impression did I leave on you?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's all about the impression that you're leaving on people and spreading that good energy.
Facts.
Then the money gonna come after that.
Yeah.
Just like the relationships
It's
with
always
DJ.
gonna come, for sure.
Yeah, just like the relationships with DJ. He's out of here.
Yeah.
And he still has a good heart because he know where he come from.
Fair enough.
But he know why he's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Why.
Exactly. So yeah. That's the reason why.
So would you say? Let me rephrase this. All right. So how do you stay motivated throughout it all? When it's raining and it's just coming down cats and dogs.
Man, I've had months and months and months where I make nothing. I drive Lyft to make some money.
Definitely.
I do all kind of stuff to make money that's legal.
Yeah.
But
disclaimer.
Yeah, but I do all types of stuff to make the money before the sales start to roll in again. It's all about being patient and being passionate about what you do.
Definitely.
I'm passionate about what I do. I can go a year without making nothing and still like
enjoy what you're doing.
Enjoy what I'm doing. Yeah. So
that's how you know you're in the right spot.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy being a realtor. So yeah, it's always gonna be like, man, I don't know where the next check coming.
Yeah.
But I'm always gonna make sure that I'm doing the right thing while waiting.
Until then.
Yeah. Exactly.
Preparing.
So, consistency.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Yeah.
Staying ready so you don't have to get ready.
For sure.
Definitely. Okay,
For sure.
Okay. So, on Locating Greatness, podcasts, leaderships, and everything in between, right? We already kind of figured out where you got the name from. What made you kind of want to turn into putting it on wax, putting it on air and putting it out there?
To be honest, Locating Greatness was the Home Locators community at first.
Okay.
It was I was strictly only in my real estate bag. I was like, I'm gonna build this community. I'm gonna always have facts and stuff about real estate.
Right.
But then I thought about it and I was like, people kind of get burnt out on the same thing being shoved in their face every single time, every video.
Right.
I had to pivot. So whenever I pivoted to Locating Greatness, I met the owner of the studio,
right,
Michael Strait. Big shout out to him because he showed me that all of this stuff is possible. This studio, very beautiful, and I love it.
Definitely.
And we had a lot of conversations. He's a true believer, just like I am. So he believes in himself just as much as well. And, he's somebody that I look up to as well. And I have questions, I have random questions about stuff sometimes too. But yeah, the birth of Locating Greatness started out with him. He was the first episode. My little brother Josh, he has played a big role into this.
Right.
Because his dad cuts my hair.
Okay, yeah.
And right after he graduated high school, he had some things that he was doing, like, you know, just working.
Right.
But he had a talent.
Yeah, for sure.
He can sing. He's good at editing. He's a social media guy.
Multifaceted.
He's the perfect guy. So I was like, man, you know, and I had a conversation with him. I was like, you know, I have a vision.
Right.
And his vision and his hands made this.
Right,
all
right.
of this. So with Josh and Michael, they're the ones that kind of pushed me to the upper echelon of being able to make something work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
It
so
seems
big shout out to
like
him.
you and you said Dash, right?
Dash, yeah.
Yeah. You're always in the right room at the right time.
Yeah,
because you're always meeting someone that is pushing you to be great. So,
yeah. But
nah, you're doing your thing.
those are the people that I like. Dash is somebody I grew up with. Like literally, he stayed right around the corner from me from birth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I've always known him, and my cousin Ray are best friends.
Okay,
so like I've always seen him around. And he's always had some. He was a party promoter. Right. Then he changed it over to the. You know, it was just a bunch of stuff, but he always made something work. Definitely. The legal way.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I love what how he. Everything that he put his hands on, it prospers in different ways. So that's why I said, you know, what he did was so instrumental to me, because I'm like, man, I can hustle and make it happen too.
You got to get him on this. That's greatness right there. That's greatness right there.
He definitely will. He a little camera shy, but
fair enough.
I'm gonna make him get on here for sure.
Got to. Yeah. All right. So, how long have you been doing the podcast for?
Locating greatness has been something since October. So what? 8 months? Yeah. 6 months. So technically it's been 6 months. Okay. Had a lot of things kind of had to move around and stuff in order for us to be more consistent. So I apologize about that. But once you see this one, we're taking off.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So so I had a little, you know, it's a couple things that I needed to do, and I think that we're about to be more consistent. But yeah, October, so about 6 months ago, is when it truly started, and we locked in and made it happen. And
out of that journey, I'm not really gonna say a favorite, but has there been someone that you interviewed that stood out the most to you?
I wouldn't say just one person.
Fair enough.
I think each and every one of them, and I'll go down a list, and I know I'm about to like the back of my hand. Yeah. Started with Michael. Right. Then we had my buddy Ryan, who's a mortgage loan officer. Right. Then we went to my boy Devon. Yeah. Then we had you on here. Yeah. Then my boy Brandon. Then my cousin Courtney. And then the most recently is Ashley. Like every last one of them has shown me that you can make something different. Right. Because I didn't know nothing about like owning caravans to where you can, you know, rent them out. So that people can sense, it's like kind of like smaller tour buses, but you can rent them out, you know, if you're going to like a party, like not party buses, but like, more luxury. Yeah. Something like that. Somebody else's point of view of being a realtor, a loan officer from start to finish. I mean, from start to now. Yeah. A singer. Courtney was on The Voice. She was
check that out.
Like she's out of here. Yeah. Like, you know, and then Ashley, she's doing her thing when it comes to hair care, skin products. It's a lot that she does, but I love everything that they're doing. And also Christy. She has her own catering business, and man. Tell me about it. Is it good? Crazy.
Is it good?
That good, bro. It goes crazy. I'm like, yeah, I gotta stay away from you because I'm gonna spend all my money. I'll spend all my money,
What's the name of it, man? I'm gonna have to check this out.
I have to double check. I think it's dang, what is it? I'm gonna put it at the bottom. So
definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my boy put it at the bottom because yeah. But she goes crazy. She goes crazy.
Okay, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me think. All right, so we talked about the past and we talked about now. Mm-hmm. What would you say? What season of life are you in right now?
Right now, man, I'm at the staircase.
Okay.
I'm going up.
Definitely.
Right now.
I like that.
I fell down the stairs a few times, but I'm still prospering and going up.
You gotta pick yourself up every time.
Yeah, man. I think, locating greatness and being a home locator has consumed my life in such a positive way that we're going to grow so big to where we can help so many people understand that there's more to your situation than what you are looking at.
For sure.
So right now I'm in my own healing journey when it comes to going to therapy.
Yeah.
I'm a therapy guy.
Gotcha.
I'm a matcha guy now. I want to say the other one, but I was like, nah, I ain't gonna say that. Yeah.
They got you, bro.
They got me, bro. They got me, bro. They got me. But yeah. So I'm in this era of healing, bro. You're never not healing.
You're never not.
Never not healing, but I'm focused on it now.
Yeah, and healing doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It's not linear.
Right.
You can go forward 3 months, 3 years, and then hit a wall.
Yep.
And then keep going.
Yep.
I heard this quote, right? I love it. 1% better a day doesn't sound like a lot, but at the end of the year, that's 365% better than where you started at.
Yes, sir.
So just small progress, small improvement is still improvement. So I respect that. Shout out to you, bro.
Absolutely. So my biggest thing too is like I want to stay close to my family.
Sure.
I feel like I didn't give props to my pops, but props to him too, and my brothers. My older sister and my youngest sister.
Definitely.
They all look at me in a way as like the older sibling.
Right.
The rest of them, my older sister, we be battling for first place sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It be like that.
But yeah, it's all respect. Like I look up to what she's doing, but also I appreciate the things that I've learned from all my siblings.
Yeah.
From just being one authoritative figure,
Right.
but also setting the example.
Yeah.
Like be a better person every day, and that's what I'm doing. Like 1%, like I said, 1%, like you said, 1% better every single day, and just continue to make that happen. You know what I'm saying?
Leading by example, man.
Yeah.
See, and it also goes back to what I was saying, how you're a visual learner. You're also visually showing the way.
Yeah.
So like it's a full circle. So that's what's up. That's good.
Yeah. I invested my life into this, bro. Like I'm not just, this is not just a side job. This is my life now.
For sure.
Locating greatness is my life.
I like
being
that.
the home locator is my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we gonna prosper. We are going to prosper to new heights.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it, bro.
I promise you. Yeah, we gonna make this thing happen, man. So yeah. Yeah, bro.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Man, I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited. Yeah.
All right, so what's next? Personally, professionally, anything and everything you want to share?
For everything, it's consistency. Staying consistent with what I love. The next step for me is to grow this as big as possible.
Yep.
After I answer these, we got a big announcement, by the way. I'm gonna wait. But for me, man, I just want to be a better example to my siblings, a better man, in general. So I want to be more consistent in therapy. I want to be more consistent in the gym. I want to be more consistent with investing in my mental health and my physical health.
Definitely.
That's my biggest thing. But being better at communicating.
Yeah.
And not letting the little things steer my judgment on anything. So like if I feel like somebody's not working as hard as me, I can't get mad at them. If I feel like somebody's like not doing something that they should be doing for me, I'm definitely not gonna be mad at them. It's just I gotta learn how to stay in my own lane.
For sure.
Because I want everybody to win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's kind of like, man, how do I do that? How do I show these people that they can win and we can win together? Because I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I'm not like looking down like, oh, you need to do this and this to succeed. No, but we're gonna continue to keep pushing that line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the next steps for locating greatness. This is what I envision.
Let's hear it.
Now, we got Locating Greatness, where we're Locating Greatness podcast, which is what we're doing right now.
I didn't know we were doing that.
My biggest goal in the next 9 to 10 months, I want to sit down with Lil Russell.
Okay.
I want to sit down with 10X.
Yeah.
I want to sit down with him too. And then there's a lot of podcasters in the area that I want people to know about this.
For sure.
To the biggest,
Of course, yeah.
biggest platform. So yeah, I want a lot of people to know about what's cooking over here. But Locating Greatness podcast, and then I'm gonna have locating your assets. That's something that's coming soon, and that's real estate. That's real estate based,
right?
To where I give you fun facts on why you should move to certain places, what's going on with the government when it comes to maybe tariffs or just increasing interest rates. What you can do to make sure that your interest rates don't go super sky high. How I can help you with your credit. All of that stuff to where we can give you more buying power. So that's what locating your assets are. Then we'll have the vlog. The vlog is gonna be like my life. My life is a movie, so I gotta have someone filming.
Put it on camera,
man. Bro. So we're gonna have the vlog, man. We're gonna have the vlog more in depth, look into my life from the coaching. I coach little kids, Little League football, so I coach that, and I want to do vlogs with that.
For sure.
I want to kind of sit down with the kids, kind of ask them different questions.
Inspiration.
That's something else that I had in mind too. So those three things that we're gonna kind of dive into big time this year.
Okay. Hey, I'm here for
2025 is gonna be crazy. But
I'm here for it.
Yeah. We coming, bro.
Gonna take off.
We coming.
All right. So to wrap it all up, right?
Okay.
I want you to look into the camera, bro.
Right.
And send a message to your younger self.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And what would you tell him and every other boy, girl that looks just like you? What would you say?
So, what I would say to myself, or any child that's listening to this, never give up. Continue to make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Don't be comfortable in your position. If you're comfortable, then you always going to fail.
Not doing enough.
Always make sure that you're uncomfortable. Make sure that you continuing to prosper, and also make sure your mental health is on point. You can't be anything without your mental health. So always invest in your mental health, your physical health, and that bag.
Oh yeah.
Chase your dreams, man. Just it's cliche, but chase your dreams and stay out of the way. Stay out of trouble, because nothing comes out of trouble.
Yeah.
So if it is trouble, make sure it's good trouble. Make sure you're making people uncomfortable and making sure that you're telling them like, hey, there's more to life. If I know somebody that's on the wrong path and I tell them, something that makes them uncomfortable, it's not the type of trouble that you may think.
Yeah.
It's the trouble to make them uncomfortable to where they can continue to prosper like we all are trying to do. So keep chasing your dreams. You're gonna be great. To the younger self, to the younger me, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Make all the mistakes that you have there, because it's good. I promise you're gonna be good. Because look at you now, baby.
You gotta learn.
Look at you now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But yeah, man. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah.
But now that we wrapped it up.
Yes, sir.
Now that we wrapped it up.
Let's chop it up, bro. Let's
get into it. Let's get into it. All right. I'm gonna look into this camera because I want people to see. I want people to understand what's about to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want everybody to understand that locating greatness is something for everybody. I'm making this announcement to let y'all know that I have an official co-host. Mr. C. Smooth Mitchell.
Yeah.
Charles Mitchell. He is in the building.
I'm here, y'all.
He's officially on the team.
Yep,
it's not just me. It's both of us. We're coming with a lot of content is about to start coming. So
definitely.
But yeah, so everybody, I want y'all to give a warm welcome to Mr. C Smooth Mitchell.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a really good job, bro. You did a good job.
I'm glad you think so, because it's my first time on this side of the mic.
Yes,
I'm like, hey, wait, what?
So
I'm gonna get better, y'all. Show me some grace,
yeah,
please.
yeah. So I want y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna give a backstory a little bit. So I met Charles is the first person I met when I moved to Denton to go to UNT.
Yep.
He was the reason why, like. Never mind.
This story can go so many different ways.
It could. I thought about it, I was like, nah, we're gonna keep it PG. But
for sure.
I think, man, this guy, he's shown me a lot too. I didn't put him in the interview, but I do want to say, like, this guy has shown me that you can making connections in college, friendships, being a good person, battling something that people don't understand. If you don't know the story, go back to his episode and watch it.
For sure.
He's a strong dude. He's very determined. He's a model. All of the vlogs that we're gonna have, it's not just gonna be me. We're gonna go to the fashion shows too. So be tuned.
Y'all gonna see day in the life, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Everything in between.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So he was the first guy that I met. Been cool ever since. Never had no issues amongst each other. Always been a good person to me. So we gonna win together. So now that you understand, it's not just me. It's not just Josh. Now it's a 3-man army.
Yeah.
I'm making it work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even sometimes we may not even have a guest. It might be just us sitting here talking about something that we could invest in, you know, whether it's mentally, whether it's, you know, monetarily, whatever. We're going to invest into a lot of things because I want to invest in y'all, and y'all are investing in us, so we appreciate y'all. But yeah, I want y'all to give a warm welcome to my guy, Mr. Charles Mitchell.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, bro.
I like being on this side. You know what I'm saying? I like telling my story a little bit.
Yes, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some more questions for you. We gonna run it back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, until again, here's the slogan. Let's
hear it.
You can always, life is always good when you're locating greatness. You know what I'm saying?
That.
Yes,
I like that.
But yeah, so we out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, bro.
Go be great.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yeah.